That's right, Dan. And Gerard Toohey has a pretty incredible story, so we'll have to start from the beginning. You see, Gerard was raised an orphan in the Midlands of Ireland, and although he was adopted, his adoptive mother said about 30 years ago that she wanted him to have a better life, and so she sent him to America in search of the American dream. When Gerard arrived in the U.S., he had $0 in his pocket and a work visa, and it took him less than 48 hours to land his first job painting a house in Short Hills, New Jersey.
The particular job that I went to see, I told the lady, that I would paint the room for $100. And she said, that's not enough. And of course, I thought she was crazy. So she said she would give me $600 and she would buy the paint. So I almost, I thought I won the lotto. I painted the room in 2 days, and with the $600 I got from that first job in my first week in America, I bought a car, a Delta 88 Oldsmobile Cutlass class cruiser, a 60-gallon aquarium, and some fish.
Unbeknownst to him, Gerard had actually purchased a koi fish that day. He was attracted to its beautiful colors and its grace when it swam in the water, and it was that fish that inspired his dream of one day owning lakefront property. The only problem was, later on in life, Gerard and his family would eventually move to Wilson, PA, and clearly there's no lakefront property in that area, so Gerard decided he had to make his own.
We had an above-ground pool here in the garden, and we kind of lost interest in it, and it was always getting algae and green and yada, yada, yada. And so my yard, I live in Wilson Borough, my yard was totally open, so people could park on the lawn or on the grass. There was no privacy of any kind. And then one day I had this epiphany to tear down the swimming pool, the above-ground pool, and my wife and kids were gone to Ireland, and I brought in a crew of machines and guys, and we excavated a very large hole. We dug the hole, got a piece of rubber, put rocks around the top, got a hose and a pipe, and created what was my first pond. And next thing, it just snowballed.
In less than 5 months, Gerard created a 180 by 90-foot garden in his backyard filled with hundreds of plants, a swimming pond, a small artisanal pond, 60-plus koi fish of both Japanese and Polish descent, and 20 different moving water features. Daily, Gerard will post videos on social media with the hashtag #LivingThatPondLife. But during the pandemic, Gerard has felt an obligation to share his personal paradise with the Wilson community in hopes of raising people's spirits. And so, over the last 5 months, Gerard has hosted a number of in-person garden parties free of charge.
But when they walk through them gates, they literally get transported. They're in La La Land. They're literally on vacation. All the people that have come, like the one we had this past weekend, we had a huge turnout. Like, it was incredible. I think the last people left at midnight, even though I said 10 o'clock. People just kept coming, but everybody had their masks. Everybody was very respectful. It was just beautiful. Like, I had some girls here the other day, they're probably in their 50s. And I said to them, go sit on the deck and put your feet in the water. The joy that they gave everybody that was in the garden. They were hollering and screaming, and they put their feet in. Initially they were terrified, but to see, if you watch that video, that's the reaction you get. All I want to do really is just open people's minds and inspire them, say that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Although traveling is limited right now, Gerard has used his passion for gardens and ponds as a source of income, and he's traveled the world creating different gardens for different people. One of his most notable clients was actually Disney World. However, Gerard does believe that regardless of how much you can afford to spend on a pond or a garden, everyone is capable of owning even just a small piece of that pond life. For the Service Electric Network, I'm Courtney DuPont. Back to you, Dan.